problem. I don't think it'll tip over. No, I'll order a new fifth wheel, or I'll live without a wheel. And forevermore, I will keep this wheel. This will be a drib and a drab next time I move. This is what's going to happen. This wheel. I'm going to keep it out to remind me that if you have to force it, you're probably.
I think it's going to get thrown out sooner than that.
You do. One day I'll just be there. It'll be like, where did that wheel go? And Mitch will be like, I don't know. It just disappeared.
And I always say me watching straight porn is like a short person trying to watch a parade. I'm always like. So I get sent a lot of sex toys for free. And Jamie Bridges and I were talking about sex toys before the start of the show, and that's the only way I'm thinking of it. So I just try them all out because it's free and I enjoy free things. And I tried one out today and it electrocuted me.
What?
It was like electric shocks were coming out of the toy. And I was like, is this supposed to happen? And all of a sudden I was afraid because I threw away the box. I didn't know that maybe it's supposed to happen. But I was there lying in bed, being shocked in the anus like a mink. Just so while you were trying to shove something, make it work, I was trying to shove something, make it work. That's how closely connected we are.
That will be fodder for your next appearance.
This week, we got the official word that CBS had passed on my pilot that I starred with Alec Baldwin and Kelsey Grammer. And I have found myself unwittingly the grief counselor for Alec Baldwin. He's been calling me. He's really bent out of shape about this.
Wow.
And I was like, listen, buddy, this business, you're not in control. This is normal. Normally, we don't get to do what we want to do. You got to let this go. There will be more for you. I mean, look at me. I mean, I'm sure that next year, the networks will write a series sitcom with a gay Filipino lead, and there'll be a role that's meant just for me. And oh, the bird's back. And then I said, P.S. You're a straight white guy. It's gonna work out.
I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do another comedy show where a performer doesn't have a bird on their head, It just feels like, how am I supposed to say yes to any other show where someone isn't delivering the amount of focus Alec had to have to talk about the Israeli Palestinians coming together in a mall while a bird is just flying in and out of frame is gold medal. He had a lung cancer. He passed away when he was 81 years old, and he started smoking when he was 16. So I feel like that's like a win for the tobacco industry. I feel like that he's like a champion. Like no vegetables, just smoking coffee. 81. I mean, that's unbelievable, right?
And by the way, you know how hard it is to ask for time off on Sukkot when no one knows what the hell you go into a showrunner's office, be like, hey, can I have a 2 days off to go sit in a hut outside? I never know how, when I do some of these synagogues, I never know how religious they are. Like, we're like, some synagogues just like, I have a problem with Ikar, which is a synagogue that I go to in LA, which I love. I have one specific problem with Ikar, which is on Yom Kippur, they had everyone sing the song One by U2. Mm-hmm. And I was like, let's just forget the whole Jewish thing. Let's just have it all. Let's just skip the 5 steps ahead and just sing Yellow by Coldplay. I was such a weird kid, and my dad loves to remind me. Like when I was home, he reminded me he found a letter that a principal had written home. I apparently had, and I remember this. I'd gone into the bathroom, put a paper towel over the drains in one of the sink, squeezed a bunch of hand soap on top of the paper towel, like a ton of it, and then turned on the faucet and left the bathroom. And he said, I just want to ask, do you have any memory of this? And I was like, 1,000%. And he's like, do you remember why you did it? And I was like, no. I have absolutely no idea. But I remember the principal coming in, and I fessed up immediately. He was like, Alex? And I was like, the bathroom? And he's like, Boston is such a city filled with anger and hatred itself. Like, you know, the Italians hate the Irish hate the Italians. In the early 90s, the Irish started to hate the Russians, and the Russians hate the Greeks, and the people from East Boston hate the people from South Boston, and people from South Boston hate people from Wellesley, and Watertown and Waltham go at it, and Brookline and Newton go at it. And it's nice to have Boston sports where everyone can unite to hate New Yorkers. Like, it's a really different type of what Chet. It's so funny because there's always one dish in an omakase that's served with gold on it, and you're always like, "Hey, what if I get the gold on the side, or like, what if I don't have the gold at all? Can I take the gold home with me for the amount of money that I'm paying?" And also, the gold it sticks to your chopstick, so for the rest of your meal, you just have to be reminded you're this gluttonous fuck who's eating enough money to like put a kid in an unfortunate country through school for 4 years. Like, it's insane that it's still like it doesn't have any taste. I was like, why gold? And the guy's like, why not gold? And I'm like, why gold?
It was at my grandfather's funeral. And my nanny was, she was amazing. She was very loud and verbose. She was a big woman. I'm quite like her, to be honest. I'm not going to lie. And she was always, you know, she was a bit of a kook. And so, you know, at the end of the church service, my grandmother is walking down, you know, the center aisle by herself. And she's kind of, you know, greeting people and saying, thank you so much for coming. And then she stopped for a second. Just kind of had a puzzled look, bent down, picked something up, put it into her purse, and kept walking. And then we said, Nanny, what happened? And she said, oh, the elastic band on my underpants broke, and they fell to my knees. So she stepped out of them and had them in her purse for the rest. So she was commando for the rest of the day. My grandmother, yes, spent the funeral of her husband naked from the waist down. And I think that's what we should all go for. That should be a goal for everybody. I've been doing the Zoom shows since we started the pandemic. And it's funny because we're like, what, now 16 months in or something? Mm-hmm. And I feel like I haven't mastered the camera. Like, I always feel like I look blurry. Like, I feel like I'm always making a hostage video. Don't I look like I'm in a basement? And I'm like, just send the money. I always look like someone's going to hit me with a sack of oranges. Do you know what I'm saying? Who knows what's going to happen? They don't leave bruises. This is why. Now, I got to go for the first shot early. And I don't want to brag, but it's because I'm high risk. I don't want to, you know what I mean? Thank you for noticing. And then when I went to go get my first shot, they texted me, the doctor's office texted me. They're like, we need you to get a medical note. You have to get a note from your doctor to tell us why you're high risk. And I was like, do I really need to do that? Or can I just show up? Do you know what I mean? Maybe I'll just wear a tank top. Do you really need to know? Who's the doctor note from? Dr. Pepper? Are you kidding me? What's happening? Come on. I was working with the trainer, and this is what she said to me. She's like, I've got an idea for a fun snack. And I was like, I can barely wait to hear it. Oh, I'm just on the edge of my seat. Tell me your fun snack. And this is what she said to me. She's like, what you need to do, she goes, you need to get some non-fat yogurt. And I was like, well, I'm intrigued. I'm so excited. Non-fat yogurt. She goes, and then put some like protein powder in it. It tastes just like pudding. Have you ever had pudding? What kind of messed up childhood did you have? You poor thing. Are you pudding? Are you kidding me? Listen, I realize now why she's so thin. She's empty inside. She's totally hollow. There's nothing in there. I know during the pandemic, a lot of us have been watching a lot of pornography. Definitely Alec, but let's move on. These are whatever. These are, you know what I mean? God bless. And I've been watching porn because I'm writing a paper. I'm doing some research. Very busy. I'm very busy. So now here's the thing. I've been watching the same pornography for the last 25 years. Okay, the same one. I swear, it's just a 5-minute clip. He kisses her on the shoulder, and then I turn it off. I don't need to see more than that. I have a very good imagination. I'll take it from here. I say, I'm good. I'm done. But I'll tell you this. The actors in this film, they have to be dead by now. It's an old movie. It's been 25. They're long gone. So what I'm telling you is I am watching porn in memoriam at this point. This is what I'm doing. May they rest. They've done good work, Beth. Thank you very much. You know what I mean? They're doing good work. One time I had to break up with a man because he pronounced it voluptuous. Oh my God. He's a murderer. You're a murderer. Voluptuous? Are you kidding? And I'm just kidding. I have never broken up with anyone in my entire life. Are you joking? You're not getting rid of me. I hold on with a death grip. Oh, it's going to take a court order to get rid of me. I'm not going to lie. And a team of people. My boyfriend is bisexual, and it is the best relationship I've ever been in because he is just gay enough to be good. Do you know what I'm saying? He is just, oh my God, it's a gift. And, and everyone's like, why is it different? I'm like, well, my other boyfriends, I loved them and romantically I was into them. I said, but this one, it's like, I don't know what it is. It's like, I like him. Do you know what I mean? And I don't think I've had that experience before. Well, that's too real. That was, to be honest, this isn't my joke book. This is my journal. I shouldn't be reading this. This is awkward. Anyway, I'm supposed to wait till Tuesday for that.
My parents actually, when they moved to North Carolina, they both got a job in an AIDS clinic. My father's a psychologist, my mother's a nurse. And now they're kind of like hip to all the lingo. My father sent me an article on non-binary people. I thought I was going to plot. It was unbelievable. And so they're kind of chilled out and they're kind of cool, and it doesn't really bother anybody anymore because it's also been a long time. And, we were talking about what the baby was going to call me when the baby could form words, just planning ahead. And everybody was like, well, Justin's more of an auntie. And we were all like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. And we were all on board with it. And it was just this really kind of wonderful moment. And I was supposed to be there for 2 weeks, and the 2 weeks just flew by. And I got on the plane, and I was ready to go. And it was very nice. We were all kind of, it had been a harmless visit, And I go into the airport and I have a while to wait. So I'm on my Instagram. And I don't know about the rest of you, but over quarantine, I got obsessed with dog videos, dog rescue videos. I'll stop everything to see a Chihuahua who couldn't be loved be loved. I will stop the world to see a mangy dog finally get like a second chance. And I think because in quarantine, I was, watching them and thinking like, oh God, won't it be nice to be around people? And we won't feel so kind of, I don't know, being alone for so long kind of made me feel gross and like just not close to people and untouchable in some strange way. I took it really the wrong way. And I really, these dog videos would really kind of make me smile because I would think, listen, you can be an abandoned pit bull somewhere with 3 legs, and all they're going to do is wash you and pet you and be nice to you, and you can be happy again. This'll happen. This can happen for you too. So I'm in the airport and I'm watching, I'm flicking through my Instagram, and I come up on this video, this animal video, and it's not a dog, but it's this 100-year-old gorilla who is dying. And to be nice to this gorilla, they decided to bring one of his first trainers, who was still alive and also old, to see this dying gorilla, right? And the gorilla, who's just in so much pain and just dying, it was very heart-wrenching to see, turns and looks at this trainer and remembers him and smiles this big black toothless grin and is so happy and starts gesturing to his face and communicating in sign language. And it's just heartfelt and real. And I'm in the Dallas airport weeping uncontrollably over this dying gorilla and his trainer, because I get it. And it was that weird feeling I had being with my family for as long as I was, because I'm that gorilla. At the end of the day, I was always a gorilla. I was always this weird little thing that they had no idea what to do with, but they loved me and I loved them too. And sometimes I realized that they were doing human things and I was doing gorilla things. Like, it's just a different way of life. My mother's theme for her bathroom is seashells. The theme for my bathroom is divine. You know, it just, you can't help but being a gorilla. And it doesn't mean you don't love each other. It doesn't mean you can't connect. It doesn't even mean that when the lights are going out, they're not the people you want to see. It just means that all this time you were a gorilla and they were the zookeeper. And you were doing gorilla stuff and they were doing zookeeper stuff. And you loved each other the best you could. And you still love each other now. And that's my story.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
At this house, really nice house across from her dad's house in the desert, super nice house, very kind people. They let us stay there.
While they were gone.
And you sit on the toilet and one of the prints that you read when you're on the toilet says something like, you know, take it easy, breathe. We're all just in this, you know, take it easy, baby. You know, there's no race. Let's just get there. And the one right next to it, identically framed, was like, seize the day! Get it! You know, move, don't slow down, you deserve it. And I was like, Beth.
We were both like, oh my God, pick a lane, you're like this. You're like.
And I'm like, I can't eliminate in this room. I can't relax. I feel just really conflicted. Years ago, we had a Father's Day party and we invited my father-in-law and his wife, and it was at my mom and dad's house. And we were all having such a good time, and my mom was just happy as a clam. Jackson was a baby. And my mom said to my father-in-law, we just love these grandkids. We wish they'd have more. And my father-in-law, who was not great, said, well, I don't think they should. I don't think they can afford it. And my mom said, oh, I didn't mean Jamie and Tony. I meant Jamie with someone else. And she just let it go.
Change makes us so